Tom Kirk, Aaron Asmus,
Here.
Mark Saba here. Like to approve the agenda? Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The agenda's been approved. Any public comments? Anyone online? No one's online. Okay. Approve the minutes from our last meeting on the 16th. Is there any changes that anyone wanted to make? If not, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I hear a second?
Let me just start working on it. Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're in the meat of it now. Kyle?
All right, so on the heels of our last meeting, we had a couple of requests to bring back kind of some parallel sheets, just for us to get some different perspective. Obviously, we have one in front of us that includes Ferndale and Sumner. Obviously, we saw some pretty significant increases from them in 2025. Obviously, that's going to shift that's going to shift what we see on the bottom line there. And then also there is a request of the commission to bring back a parallel sheet that does not include Ferndale and Sumner. And so we can kind of compare and contrast what that looks like. We've also included Post Falls down at the bottom with Spokane Valley for kind of our informational only. Kind of curious to see their comps. They kind of fall right in line with where we're at, certainly on the mayor side, not so much on the council side. And then lastly, we had just a kind of a review of the increases that the salary commission has approved really over the last 6 years. So the commission was dormant from 2010 to 2019. And then obviously, when the commission reconvened, they saw what we see kind of with these sheets with people that with entities that haven't done anything for 10 or more years. And I think appropriately so recommended an 80% increase for both council and mayor to fall in line with what a reasonable compensation is for the work that's performed. And so, and then kind of from there out, the trailing 5 years, you see, okay, so in 2022, the mayor got a little bit more. In 2023, 2024, council got a little bit more. Those 5-year rolling averages are both 2.4%. And so you have really, I think, solid consistency amongst the growth for both council and mayor for those increases. And so, and I think more importantly, so it's we have, I think, a reliable data pool to draw from that tells us that we're not so far out of bounds either way, and that we're generally headed in the right direction. And so I think that's from my perspective, that's kind of the goal of the commission, is just to make sure that fair wages are paid for the work that's performed. And so that's kind of what I'm assuming we'll continue to do. So with that, any observations from the commission on the weight that Ferndale and Sumner, their changes hold versus excluding them? We've done something similar in the past where we've had entities, West Richland was one I know, that upset it almost so much that the commission did decide, I think in 2022, to remove them from the data pool. And so obviously, I think when you have something so, I guess, so far to the right, there's different economic factors that allow for that to happen that the rest of the cities probably are not able to take advantage of. And so there was a decision made to remove them. I don't know, outside of last year, when we decided to remove the stagnant ones, that we've done that with any other entity. So
What was that you just said?
We've never removed somebody.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so we had West Richland, and then we have the ones that just really don't participate in
And
the,
we started that last year. didn't we?
yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused.
Right.
Well, I'll put my 2 cents worth in. I think we ought to not include Ferndale and Sumner only because, you know, it does really skew the numbers, if you will. If we want to.
And so, yeah, I guess to put the percentages to it. So if we include Ferndale and Sumner, so Liberty Lake's current monthly wage for mayor is $2,675. If we do increase to the aged compensation as of January 1st, 2026, that represents a 19% increase from 2675 to 3184. On the council side, it's not as pronounced. Still, from 880 to 954 represents an 8.4% increase. Significant, certainly. Certainly not to the tune of the mayor, though. So, alternately, purely on that same thought pattern, not including Ferndale and Sumner, the average that we see is 2938, which represents a 9.8% increase from the current Liberty Lake mayor's salary. And then on the council side, we have an increase from 880 to 918. That would represent a 4.3% increase.
Which is more in line to what we've been doing. So that's where I was kind of leaning towards. Comments?
Just, so. I think based on the data. So sorry, say that again, Mark, you were looking at the 4.9% increase
For the council.
for the council and then nothing for the mayor.
No, the mayor was gonna be 9 point.
So yeah, without Ferndale and Sumner,
Yeah,
the increase would be for the mayor would be 9.8% and then 4.3% for council.
And I was using Ferndale and Sumner out. Because they skewed my numbers, so. Well, me there.
Okay.
As I recall, my recollection could be off, but as I recall, from when we did this last year. At the mayor level, there was a kind of a large gap.
You're right.
And
We
I
brought
think
it down.
And I think we decided that it was too much of a gap to make up in just 1 year.
Right.
So the idea was recognize that there appeared to be a gap, but try to make it up over time as
Right.
opposed to make it up all at once, because it was such a it's a substantial gap.
It was a pretty big gap last year. It was, if I recall.
I think we took half of it effectively.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it was double digits, I think. is what-
Yeah.
And this year it's more in line, it's fallen more in line, if you will. But do we keep it at 7? Or do we take it up to the 9?
Good question. If we did it 7%, I think the mayor would be at 2862. Is that right?
Well, yeah, let me run that real quick.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. Which I'm kind of okay with that. On the council side, if we did the 7%, they'd be at what, 941?
Yep, 942 if you round up. So I think we would set it 941, 942.
Yeah. 7% increases, that's
Pretty substantial in today's market.
it's pretty substantial. I certainly wouldn't go any higher than that.
No,
So just trying to run the numbers just from a quartile standpoint with the data that we've got, I kind of pulled out. Because it's some respects, you've got to pull out kind of those low outliers like we've talked about, the Cheney, the Unum Claw, What was the other real low one? I mean, Tumwater almost to a degree, but Cheney and Enumclaw for sure. Just because they're such on the bottom end of the spectrum, you know, when you do that, the median kind of midpoint is about where they're at now, which is that 2675. And then so if you go up to what did you say that 7% would put it at? It was
2862.
2862. So it's basically the top end of what would be like a second quartile if you're looking at it from like a
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know, quartile range of staff range, knowing we're not quite doing that, but trying to use it from a same or similar type of an analysis from a staff position. So
Yep.
it'd be like the top end of a second quartile. Not in this, it looked the 75th percentile will be about 3147. So still, you know, a reasonable range to fall within. And I think, you know, I think that 7%, I would agree. I think that's probably a reasonable move to go forward with. I think, you know, long term, you know, we could develop a strategy on kind of how do we want to, you know, build that compensation strategy for the mayor and for city council, kind of what that would look like depending on, you know, how much weight do we want to put into local jurisdictions and what they're doing and how much do we want to weight that and versus how much do we want to build out a broader criteria set potentially. But I think I would lean towards that 7% recommendation as well.
Should we round it up to 2865 for the mayor? It seems like I was looking at all the numbers here. We try to keep it within 510,
generally speaking, yeah, that's kind of been the history. So,
It's just around.
just around, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a small dollar amount.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah,
sense.
there's nothing there. And then what was the amount for the council?
Be 941.
941.
Make it 940.
940?
okay.
Yep.
Excellent. And so we don't necessarily need consensus. So the next step would be to put it forward for a public hearing. That'll be our last meeting of the year.
Do we need to approve these two?
You certainly can to memorialize it. And so that looks good in the minutes when we go to notice the public hearing and put it in the packet that these have already been approved by the commission.
Okay, let's take each one separately.
Yep.
Do I hear a motion to approve the mayor's increase to 2865?
Yeah, let me just
ahead.
let me clarify
Please
that.
do.
And I'll say that when looking at the current mayor's salary, going back a year ago and looking at the mayor's salary compared to the data,
Mhm.
there is a significant shortfall. And the shortfall was to the tune of, I think it was like 15% or so.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
And so the commission at that time said that, well, we would like to get the mayor's salary closer to the core group, but it was just that much of an increase didn't make sense given the environment.
Yeah.
And therefore, we did a 7% increase last year. And so the salary commission therefore is recommending a 7% increase for the mayor. Again, not getting all the way, but getting closer to
Right.
the comp of the comparative cities.
Great.
But we knew it was gonna take time.
Right.
So,
Yep.
but let's.
So
keep
I'm making that motion.
That's
Perfect.
great
Excellent.
idea.
Yep.
Great, Jim. That's something to keep in mind for next year also, you know,
Yep.
might want to put a note into that.
And so I'm gonna highlight that in the minutes.
Please,
So
yeah. Yeah, so we know. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? I think we discussed it enough. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's move on to council. Do I hear a motion for a 7% increase for the city council?
I'll make a motion to increase the city council wages by 7%.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
Excellent.
Okay.
So with that, upcoming meeting, so our next meeting is going to be a public hearing. It will need, there are noticing requirements. And so we will send that to the paper next Friday. And so we can have it anytime after October 31st.
Pull out your calendars, boys, and let's take a look. Sooner the better. We're looking at first week in November.
Friday, the 7th, I'm good.
Jim?
Oh,
Uh,
I would, I'm sorry,
think
Friday the
Friday-
7th?
Yeah.
Friday, the 7th. Well, I've got like 4 calendars I need to check, so. That's still right. You.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Morning?
I could do.
Yeah.
Anytime 10 o'clock on.
I have
Yeah.
nothing on Friday, so.
Let's go Friday, November 7th at 10 o'clock.
Perfect. Okay. All right, we'll get that noticed. We'll get a packet out. And then we'll do kind of every year in the packet, we kind of highlight the process as we did during our first meeting. And so that'll be in the packet again. And that will ultimately be forwarded on to council at their meeting on the 18th for their recognition. So.
And Aaron, just an FYI, if you got anything going on that day later, that meeting will probably last 10 minutes.
No,
Correct.
it'll be perfect.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just an
perfect.
FYI, you
Cool.
want to schedule
No, we're all good.
golf resort thing.
Let me, one other suggestion is that as we go forward, let's not, let us not permanently exclude Ferndale and Sumner.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
agree.
So I will reintroduce them back into the pool because they go through the proper protocol, they
Right.
update.
Right.
And so we can kind of make that determination as a commission on an annual basis.
Okay, that's it.
Sounds
I gotta tell you one thing, I'll adjourn the meeting first. There's nothing left,
That's it.
meeting adjourned.
3:18.